And I think that if Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers aren't 100% gelling, I'm not sure that they're going to win. You know, a bit of my gut is kind of going towards Tampa Bay taking this win on Sunday. So that's my prediction. All right, so let's move to the second game. So we've got the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. They're playing at 6:40 on Sunday evening. So Nolan, you can get us started here. What advantages does each team have over each other, and who do you think is going to win the AFC?
So first things first, obviously, Patrick Mahomes, full participant in practice today. That's great news. We know if Chad Henne's playing in this game, I'm taking Buffalo to cover by 10.5, whatever the spread would be, right? So Mahomes looks like he's going to be healthy enough. He's got, that toe, turf toe situation. I still think he's going to be completely fine. The advantage that I would say Kansas City has is they have a Swiss Army knife on defense in Tyrann Mathieu. He had probably his best game of the year against the Cleveland Browns. Comes up with the interception. Just he was always in the right spot, and that's so tough for a defender, especially him. Almost obviously a safety, but he's so much more than that. He's like, let's say, a Jamal Adams, but better in coverage. Right? Like, he does so many things well. Such a smart football player, knows where to be on the field. The Bills don't have that. The Bills don't have that player to, Tre'Davious White can shut down, a physical wide receiver, but man, there's so many weapons on this Chiefs offense that the Bills don't have someone like that who can do all the little things. And that's what gives the Chiefs an advantage. Now, for the Bills, they have a guy who's uncoverable on the field in Stefon Diggs. And are you going to trust Tyrann Mathieu to go one-on-one with Stefon Diggs everywhere he goes in the field? I don't know if you can. I'd rather have Tyrann Mathieu doing a little things around the field to stop that Bills' explosive offense. So that's the one advantage, that there's a guy you cannot cover in Stefon Diggs, and we've seen it throughout these playoffs, throughout other playoff games in his career in Minnesota. He's one of the best players on the field all the time. For me, I still think Patrick Mahomes has that Tom Brady effect. You can't pick against him. You just can't. I get the Bills look good. I get Josh Allen's, improvement is undeniably one of the best improvements in a quarterback we've ever seen. I get Stefon Diggs. Even I'm saying it is one of the best receivers in football. Sean McDermott is going to might win Coach of the Year. I'm not picking against Patrick Mahomes. We know what he can do. Even if they're down 10 points, who are you going to trust more in this game? Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes in his young career, who's already been there before, who's already won a Super Bowl championship, who's already won a Super Bowl MVP, who's already been down 24 points in the playoffs, who's already been down 10 points in the playoffs twice. I'm going to pick the Chiefs. I do think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to look a little bit similar to that Tennessee game where the Bills might get out to a lead and then this offense just starts to explode. I'm going to take the Chiefs 31-21.
So, Nolan, like you said, the biggest storyline of this game is Mahomes' health. I know we've seen him practice today, but I think he's still under the concussion protocol until they fully clear him. The other story I'm looking at Andy Reid against Sean McDermott. If you guys don't know, Sean McDermott used to be an assistant to the coach for Andy Reid when he was in Philadelphia, moved up through the ranks there and ended up moving out of Philadelphia and becoming a head coach in Buffalo. So it's going to be good to see, that little teacher versus the apprentice type matchup going on. Just like how Green Bay and the Bucs faced each other in Week 6, Buffalo and Kansas City actually faced each other in Week 6 as well. That was another matchup that happened. And in that matchup, KC ended up winning by 9 points. Josh Allen had probably one of his worst passing games of the season, was held to only 127 yards. Thing is, I don't think that the Chiefs are going to be able to repeat that same performance on defense against them. I think this season and the progression of the season, Week 6 is a long way away. And I think Josh Allen has shown his progression through the whole season, and he's grown and he's become a different quarterback. And I think he's just ready to face the challenge. So if I'm going to take a step back, let me look at the Chiefs first. And I like what the Chiefs have on the field, obviously. I like offense, defensively, I like what they have. But if Chad Henne has to be the starting QB, did you guys see the interception this guy threw? That butterfly pillow that he threw up in the air? Said that was like when you're young and you're playing what's it called? I think it's 500 or jackpot with your friends, and somebody just throws it up there and yells jackpot, and somebody comes and grabs it. Same way, that's exactly what that was. And if that's how you're going to have to rely on him to have to win a game, it's not going to happen. I mean, he had some big plays. That run he had, crazy. Who would have ever thought Chad Henne would do that in his lifetime? And trusting him on that fourth down pass, come on. You know what? He's used up all his luck. So if he's going to come into this game for Mahomes, I don't think it's going to end the same way. My biggest X factor, Travis Kelce, the tight end. It's funny. It doesn't matter if he plays with Mahomes, if he plays with Henne, he shines regardless. He's out there. He has great hands. His footwork is mental. If you watch his footwork, it's crazy. And he's coming off one of the best tight end seasons we've ever had in the league before. So he's a huge X factor. If Buffalo can contain him, I think it forces more balls to the outside instead of through the middle, and it changes the whole game for the Chiefs. So I think Travis Kelce, huge X factor. One of the ways, or a couple of the ways that the Chiefs can win this game, though, I think they're going to have to run the ball a bit more. That Buffalo defense, they're horrid against the run, averaging north of 4.5 yards per carry during this postseason run so far. So if that's the case, run that ball. I don't care if it's Lev Bell or one of the Thompson boys or whoever else you got, one of the Williams boys, or Darwin Thompson even. Whoever you have as a runner, you guys need to put the ball in someone's hands and move the ball on the ground against this Bills defense, especially where they show that weakness. Another part to really look at, they gotta expose the blitz in these and the breakdowns in the secondary. Patrick Mahomes, he's great against blitz. Anytime people blitz him, he has a knack and a hell of a good find for finding any receivers open on the field, whether it's Kelce, whether it's Hill, whoever it is. So expose that blitz that Buffalo's going to use, because Buffalo does send the blitz a percentage of the time. So expose that blitz. Next thing, don't let the running backs from Buffalo beat you. Buffalo doesn't really run the ball that much. They're not really a running team. I think the first 13 plays in that Baltimore game were all passes, no runs. So it's funny that I say that it was all passes or no runs, but the fact is that Buffalo has the second most play action attempts in the whole league. Think about that. How are you running play action and you're not even running the ball that much? Kansas City, take note of that. Don't fall for that. Know that that play action is probably not going to be a run. It's more likely going to be a pass and set up to cover that. Last but not least, on third downs, they got to limit that third down completion from Buffalo, because Buffalo is at 49.7% for the whole season on third downs, putting them number one for third down completions. They have a real way, or I should say Josh Allen has a real way of finding his receivers on third downs and whatevers and getting his team to that next mark to keep moving the ball. Now for Buffalo, I like what the defense is doing. Even though I've said that the defense has problems, like they're giving up problems in the run, did you see what these guys did last week? Lamar Jackson, oh my God. He was coming off a high, and he hit a low immediately when this Buffalo defense came at him. It was crazy to see them out there. The amount of times he was left scrambling in the backfield trying to find an open receiver or trying to use his legs. They completely shut out his whole ability, and it was dominant to say the least. The thing I like about Buffalo, though, they gave up the 6th fewest 20-plus yard plays in the league, and that's a lot of what this KC team does, passing the ball down the field. So it's going to be a good matchup in that sense. For that X factor, I got to go with my boy Tre'Davious White. I think he's going to do his job, and he's going to lock down Tyreek Hill and become a problem for him. I expect Tyreek to get a couple balls and catch a couple of them, but I also do expect that Tre'Davious is going to be all over his back and force him to make some mistakes and force him out of plays, and whoever's playing quarterback is going to have to look elsewhere. Oh, man. I don't know, man. I'm hurting to find, I want to say circle the wagon so bad. Like, I want Buffalo to go to the finals and just do amazing things, but it's so hard, like you said, knowing to pick against these Chiefs. Like, I don't even want to list the keys of success for Buffalo, because I don't even think these keys of success are going to matter. Let me just say it this way. Whatever. KC, go out there and do what you got to do. If Mahomes is playing, you know what's going to happen. Mahomes plays, Mahomes is in, the Chiefs win. Any other outcome, if Mahomes gets injured or if Mahomes doesn't play, y'all better circle those wagons, because those Buffalo Bills are coming. But for now, Chiefs win this 30-17.
We've touched a bit of this on the show on being one-dimensional, and I think the most one-dimensional team was probably the Steelers. We talked about it a lot on the show. But if you want to talk about one-dimensional teams on offense, these are probably the two most one-dimensional teams we've seen in the NFL. These guys just do not run the ball. And they don't run the ball with their running backs. They do it with their quarterbacks. You saw Patrick Mahomes get hurt on it looked like a quarterback power. And Josh Allen is notorious for running quarterback draws right up the middle. I guarantee you, Brian Dable, after seeing what happened to Patrick Mahomes, he's not going to risk that happening to Josh Allen. I just think it would be dumb. And I think the X factor, Steven, you said it, is what team can run the football more? I mean, it's in the wind in Buffalo. You can see Josh Allen was off on a little bit of throws. Usually he's been hitting those throughout the season. I think the wind had a little bit to do with that. So you're going to KC. The weather's not going to be any better. It might be even worse. You're going to have to run the football. The defense for Buffalo has a hard time stopping the run. And they did a pretty good job, I thought, against the best rushing attack in football, or one of the best. But they got to do it against the Chiefs. Just the same thing like Aaron Rodgers and against the Rams. You can't give Patrick Mahomes a run game on top of it. He's just going to shred you apart. They've got to establish a run game because this game is going to come down to keeping Mahomes off the field if he plays. Now, if he doesn't play, rest in peace to all the folding chairs in Buffalo because they're going to be jumping through them all week. Okay? But if Mahomes plays, you've got to shut down the run. You can't give him more to work with. They got to keep possession of the football on their side. We saw it. AFC Championship games 2 years ago. KC against New England had like 21, but they put up 37 points. That's how crazy this offense is. So you have to keep them off the field. You got to run the football. And Nolan, you talked about the Swiss Army knife with Tyrann Mathieu, but the Bills, they have some pretty good safeties on the back end. Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, they do a pretty good job. And Tre'Davious White on Tyreek Hill, if I am the Buffalo Bills, I'm putting White on Kelce and trying to take him completely out of the game and maybe put a double team on Tyreek Hill. When you're going up against speed, this is a different type of receiver all in all. There's no one in the NFL that can do what Tyreek Hill can do. So you can't – putting your best corner on him, doesn't matter how good he is, what the right angles. If he's going to blow you over the top, he's going to blow you over the top. I think you got to take away the X factor that you said, Steven, is Travis Kelce. Put your best corner on him. Try to lock him out of the game because that's Mahomes' security blanket. And when it comes to Tyreek Hill, you take your best chance when it comes to him because we know what he can do. So I think that should be the game plan for Buffalo. Stay with the ball. Don't let Mahomes get multiple possessions. And, of course, limit the turnovers. Don't give your defenses short fields to work with because we know how good these both offenses are and what they can work with. But I'm with you guys, man. You can never, ever count out Patrick Mahomes. He's got what Nolan said. He's got that effect of Tom Brady. He's got that effect of, you could say, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. You just can't count these guys out. And Mahomes is starting to, if not already, be in that conversation of one of those athletes. I'm not going to bet against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs unless he doesn't play. I'm going KC in this one. In a tight game, 31-28.
Yeah, you guys make some great points. This is definitely a very, very difficult game. And I was hoping with all of your guys' feedback that I'd be closer to making a decision. But honestly, like you said, we've watched this Buffalo team evolve through the whole season. Like, they've just made some incredible progress. And, I mean, they've evolved into such a good team that it wouldn't surprise me if they were able to win this conference and head to the Super Bowl. But like you said, Patrick Mahomes is amazing. He's an outstanding player. He doesn't give up. I would be shocked if he doesn't play on Sunday, right? I would be shocked if they don't clear him. So I got to go with Kansas City too, just because of Mahomes. So Kansas City all the way. And like you guys are saying, if the Chiefs don't play, then yeah, I could definitely see Buffalo obviously winning. But I think he's going to play, and I think that Kansas City is going to take this win home. So there you have it, our game predictions for the conference championships. That concludes our episode for today. Thank you so much for joining us on Touchdown with True Sports. And please remember to like and subscribe to our True Sports content on YouTube. We'll see you next week.